Indians. Good evening for Thailand friends. Namaste and Swadika. So, in this new season, post-COVID, we are seeing two trends. One is Namaste, which world is adopting, and second is Swadika. So, these are the two trends which world has to adopt anyhow. And today's session, we have a very special guest with us. Let me introduce her. Kun Nichapa Yoswee, Senior Vice President, Business for TCEB, Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, the government body from Thailand dealing into the mice sector for the promotion of mice. And it's a privilege, and I'm honored to welcome you on our show during this event called Life Expo 2020, which is a virtual show. And this is the second day, and I welcome you on behalf of all my friends from India, and welcome to the show.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. So, without wasting more time, I'll just shoot the first question to you. Thailand has been in news for quite some time, and the traffic from India to Thailand is huge as far as the mice sector is concerned, be it the corporate movement, be it the association buyers movement in terms of meeting, incentive, conference, or even exhibitions. So, what is the latest mice news which is coming from Thailand for all of us? So, over to you, Kun Nichapa.
ค่ะ First of all namaste and สวัสดีค่ะ to everyone. Thank you, Khun Sachin, and also Mice Affairs India for having me. Good day to all. Before I start, I would like to give out the invitation and invite everyone to join me to express our sincere gratitude to all the medical and healthcare professionals worldwide for the dedication in keeping all of us safe. So thanks to all of them. Coming back to your question, Khun Sachin, since the outbreak, I think the Thai government came up with 5 phases of economic relief and stimulus measures with more than $65 billion to support SMEs, of course, including my stakeholder. For example, a series of soft loans, debt rescheduling, tax relief, or lowered utility costs, or wage compensation, or even cash handouts for workers who are not in the social security system. And on top of that, the government has recently launched a campaign to boost the local travel industry by providing a subsidy for overnight stay and discount on domestic airfare. They also announced a policy for state agencies and big corporates to hold meetings and seminars in different cities within the country, and that is to promote domestic mice, and that also reflects on how the government is using mice as a tool for economic recovery in the face of COVID-19 impact. Another good news in Thailand is that the government already reopened full operations of mice. However, we already TCEB together with some mice associations who have been our good allies. We have been working on what we call mice hygiene guidelines or discipline, using this guideline as the sort of protocol, safety protocol and hygiene protocol to present to the Minister of Public Health, showcasing that running mice or organizing mice events can be very safe and can be COVID-free. And the guideline has been approved, and it has been served as the new normal standard operating procedures and protocol to ensure that hygiene and safety for all mice events and participations are all in place. The aim of this guideline, of course, not only to make sure that all operators are coming together in one platform and have a standard procedure of operations. We also use this guideline to ensure the government that the events can be organized without posing any risk to public interest or public health or welfare. So MICE is now fully open in Thailand. We have launched a series of campaigns to promote domestic mice during the time of we have international travel restrictions, and the government and also TCEB have been joining force in terms of coming up with a series of campaigns to promote domestic mice as well. We are fortunate in a sense that because of this guideline that we put in place in advance, TCEB can sustain at least 46 events, international events in the second half of the year. Of course, all of them would be domestic participation and without international participation because of the ban of the international travels and all. But I think having any events running in Thailand during the second half of the year can serve the economy at the same time can show the world that the discipline, the hygiene discipline that we have can work to the benefit of all parties throughout the value chain. So we have a very good number of events running up within the second half of the year. At the same time, we have been working very closely with the government in terms of working on travel, international travel protocol, with the hope that we can lift the international travel ban soon. So right now we are working with the government on a few countries, for example, China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, and possible Singapore and more to sort of collaborate in terms of having a travel bubble procedure together. So that's a little bit of the updates on mice news from Thailand.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Kun Nichapa. I don't think it's a bit of update. I think it's a lot of update where you have shared a lot of good news that MICE is fully operational and you're taking corrective measures and launching new schemes to attract MICE business. Moreover, in talk with various countries to start the travel bubbles or travel arrangements, and I'm sure India would be in your list very soon.
Yeah.
And there has been a news and people were really motivated to hear that Thailand has controlled the virus very well. So if you can speak on this a bit, what were the key factors involved? I mean, one can be population, but what would be the others which we can hear that or maybe implement by some of us? Yeah,
Mm.
thank you.
Right. I think starting from February or March, I would say, since we detected COVID case in Thailand, I think the government has sort of getting very ready at that point of time, and they announced a very stringent health and hygiene measures, focusing on three things. First, the quick detection of the new cases. Second, on the quick medication of those new cases, and also manage on how we can really detect and contain the cases that were found here in Thailand. And also the government enforces the self-protection mechanism against the infection. So I believe that with all those stringent measures, right now we can yield a good result from that effort. One of the recent result that I can share is that Thailand has been ranked number one in the world in terms of the highest recovery index, the global COVID recovery index, which is developed by the Pimandu, I would say, Pimandu Associates in collaboration with the Malaysia's Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, and also Sunway Group. So we are glad that we have been ranked number one. It means that we are a very safe destination at this very point of time. We have been COVID-free for the past 90 days, 3 months now, and all the new cases are all imported from overseas. And I believe that not only that we are safe destination at this very moment, we also have MICE hygiene guideline as the sort of a protocol to ensure confidence from any MICE travelers worldwide coming to Thailand. Some of the stringent measures that I would like to share that the government has applied is from the first moment that they detect the COVID-19, they set up what they call Center for COVID-19 Administration Situation, which serve as a commanding center. They would monitor, oversees, and manage and make decisions and establish preventive measures together with the government. And the this center is consisted of a team of medical experts and professionals. So once whatever measures that are introduced by this center, we rest assured that it is definitely to the benefit of hygiene and also safety and welfare of the population. So that's the very first thing that the government did. They also provide daily communication via live TV program so that they can get close to the population. They use the program as a key communication channel to provide updates on the infection situation, especially in terms of new cases and the recovery cases, making people aware of the pandemic, and also introduce certain preventive measures like the enforcement of, wearing face masks all the time, practice social distancing and all. Basically, this is not only to, announce the measures, but also the government used this channel to call for collaboration and also hear the voices from the people. So I think with this daily communication, all the population or the Thais are aware of what is really happening in Thailand. They also announced the state of emergency, imposing restrictions of the movement, closing some businesses. Mines used to be locked down at that very point of time. They also closed down certain activities that may pose risk, including, ban of the international travel. The other measures that they have been doing, is that they deployed a health volunteers in every village, in every city, and in every village within the city across the country to conduct surveillance and also report on the most current situation within the parameter of, that territory. And I believe that having this volunteers, they instantly create such a healthy, health network within Thailand. And they also sort of blow a good practice from one village to the other. So one can be a good role model for the other. So this is a good community sharing. They also introduce and enforce the track and trace application on mobile. And this is called Thai Chana or Thai Win, basically, a direct translation to that. And this Thai Win application is supposed to be for business operators and also people to download. So the business will have to have this so that people, when they go to visit the business entity, they have to do the check-in and check-out function. And the business will have to also report back to the government on number of, attendees to the business and whereabout of this business, how long are those people spending in the store or in the business at each point of time. So I believe that this can give the government a good sense on the whereabout of the intel of the whereabout of the Thai citizens. They also set up state quarantine, and I believe that every country right now, they are implementing the state quarantine. But Thai, right? We want to provide the best hospitality to everybody. So instead of a pure state quarantine, we also introduce an alternative quarantine facility where the services is like you are staying in the hotel, 5-star hotel and such. So we have both state quarantine, we have alternative quarantine to cater to the incoming passengers or international travelers, just to make sure that they are they are well taken care of. Yeah. The government also enforced personal health and hygiene practices. People must wear masks all the time outside the establishment. Everybody will have to practice social distancing, the hand sanitizing gel, the personal hygiene measures. They provide education, they enforce that everybody will have to do that. And once things are getting better, they gradually phase out the lockdown measures of business and activities. And this, of course, give a good space for business to at least resume their operation. And at the end of the day, hopefully they can really help improve the economy of the whole community and also the situation. So we are now under phase 5 of the lockdown measures, relaxation, and MICE has been in the second phase of the relaxation. And right now, the government is working on to open up more opportunity or come up with series of measures to open the country and open the sky for international travelers. So we are working hard, and TCEB has been working very closely with the government to make sure that, with all the international MICE travelers coming in, we can comply. We can not only comply, we can sort of help the government monitor the whereabouts of these international MICE travelers, because we have to make sure that any events that we ran, we will do it to the benefit of or take into account of the people welfare. So everything is now under strict control, yet have flexibility enough to move around and promote the economy at large. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Nichapa, for this update. So the key message here is that for controlling the virus, it was starting from communication to involving community, and I think these are the key factors which everyone can, look forward to. And it's good to know that MICE is going to restart very soon, which is in the second phase. So my next question to you would be on the restarting of MICE from all four verticals, be it meeting, incentive, conference, or exhibition and events. So what is your
Mm.
strategy to restart these four sectors, and what is the update from TCEB on the same?
Right. I think we already started. We already restarted, and the business events has been running up and running starting 1st of July. And we have series of shows that are lining up within the second half of the year. But allow me to share a little bit on what TCEB has been doing or what TCEB has done in the past regarding to the COVID-19. The Thailand, we have been facing several crises in the past. So everybody has experienced SARS, MERS. Thailand, we also have different kind of crises. So we do not take all those lessons that we learned from the past crises for granted. So as when COVID came in January, we TCEB opt to operate under crisis mode since February, even though the situation in February may seem very minor or seem very mild or intermediate at that very point of time. In February, we came up with 3R strategies. The first is the response or short-term measures. We set up MICE COVID Info Center, and this is to provide updated information to the industry and also to provide the situation in Thailand and also sort of inform the relevant parties on the government rules and regulations to keep stakeholders on the same page. And also clients keep abreast of the development of Thailand. When I say client, I mean international clients. We immediately relax the support criteria. So instead of having a certain fixed square meter per show to qualify for the criteria, we scrapped it out totally. So we lower our support criteria. We provide venue funds for the certified venue to work on the health protocol. We also provide special grants to activate domestic mice. We also come up with virtual meeting space, which is an online platform for operators to use as their webinar platform or even virtual expo platform. We provide the funds as well for any organizers to bring their events into virtual or transform the physical into virtual in this COVID period. I think as of now, 40 events have applied to use these online platforms, and the first 5 events have been able to attract a combined 80,000 viewers, both local and overseas, so that's not bad. We also come up with mice hygiene guideline as a fundamental practice across the board for all the operators to follow through. Then, with all the fundamental well in place, we now have been working with private sector. We have been engaging private sector since day one, early February, to hear them and also to work together so that we can come up with the policies and subventions that directly translate into their needs and serve their needs and also tackle their pain points. So we spent 3 months in, consolidating information from our stakeholders and international clients, and right now we came up with what we call new support campaign for business events. For example, for meetings and incentive, we just launched what we call Ease Up campaign. And the name of the campaign is called I am people focused. I as incentive, M as meeting, and of course, business events are people business. So this is to emphasize that Thailand really value the connections and the friendships and the relationships and clients and experience. And also we will do whatever we can to make sure that we lift the experience and expectation of our clients, especially during this COVID period. So we, under this I am people focused campaign, TCEB provide more than $500,000 fund to assist the organizers with local operators like DMCs and hotels. They have joined force in providing matching complementary service like activities or team building or accommodations. So we have right now 55 hotels on board with this program. For any groups that come to Thailand and spend 20 room night, then the hotel will match another 20 room nights, for example. So this is pretty aggressive campaign for meetings and incentive. As for convention, we also came up with an improved criteria. It used to be a 2 days conference. Right now, we open to 1 day event to support. We also support virtual and hybrid events as well. We also have a special focus on homegrown event with the potential to become international event. And we are now looking into a launching Asia convention version for Asia. Because right now the global convention schedule has been disrupted by COVID, and we cannot wait until the global rotation would resume. That would take another 5 years. And I believe that in terms of content, the connection, and intel, everybody are now in search of those areas. And Asia, which are the territory that would come out from COVID first, we have the luxury of that benefit to form the Asia Convention, basically for Asia at this very point of time. The intra-regional convention will also be highlighted, hybrid technology or, virtual or online for, outside Asia to join in the Asia Convention are also in the plan for our support. So that would be for convention. Then when it comes to exhibition, we just launched what we call re-energizing exhibition. We also have Ease Up campaign. We reduce event size to be eligible for the support, and we provide fixed subsidy up to 25% for marketing. And then we are working on, the new launch campaign. Right now, for this year, we can manage to sustain 35 exhibitions during the second half of the year. And next year, we already have 45 events or exhibitions that are confirmed. We have 14 new shows that are in the pipeline. So we are working hard to ensure that we can really welcome those new events coming to Thailand. As for mega events, we have what we call Thailand Power Up, that we have been working with the cities and come up with a super attractive campaign to attract mega events joining or using Thailand as destination. Domestic MICE has always been key, and right now we have series of subvention program, not only in response to the policy that the government launched to promote domestic MICE. We also working with some agency and also big corporates to do a rotation of the meetings schedule within the country. This is to make sure that we have enough events that can travel across the city and bring a proper economic impact into the zone. Yeah. So I believe that these are a few of the measures that Thailand has been implementing. Not only the subvention program, we believe that the new normal of COVID would call for new type of partnership and industry engagement. And of course, this required communications. We have been working with international associations and have been working in partnership with all those, not only international but also domestic association. Right now, to keep the industry engaged, we already launched 46 virtual activities to engage with key markets. India has always been ranked, top 5 of our source market, and therefore we have an aggressive communications campaign through our Indian reps to, come up and be in touch with clients in India. We also produce series of videos to update MICE products from Thailand, and we'll present it to the world. We have series of MICE product, especially for India market, as well. We have webinars. Right now, everybody could be tired of, having webinars, but for the time being, it is just an interim or remedial tools until we can meet face to face again. So series of webinars continue to be remain important to us, and we use series of webinar to keep the market informed of the most current situation in Thailand. So I believe that all in all, MICE is still very healthy. In Thailand, the government has recognized MICE and they have already put MICE in their recovery agenda. That is very good news. We hope that we can get extra funding in terms of recovery funding from the government to improve the ecosystem. TCEB would continue to work very hard in terms of producing new products and services just to serve different and targeted to different source market. So we have a tailor-made program for our source market. We have tailor-made program for India as well. And I believe that all the operators are up and running in a sense that they are so ready to equip themselves with a new skill, especially in terms of technology skill, and be ready to come up with new program to satisfy all the MICE travelers, not only domestically but also internationally. So with that, I think right now the outlook in the next year of Thailand MICE is very promising. We have received a good number of international inquiries ready to come back to Thailand once the sky is open. So right now the only concern that we have is when will the sky be readily open again in the near future, and the government is working on that.
Sure. Thank you, Kun Nichapa. It's good to know that MICE is in the recovery agenda of the government. Yes, and you're right that everybody is waiting for the skies to reopen so that they can travel to their favorite destination. And I'm sure Thailand is one of them on the top priorities, I would say. So thanks for your key message. And yes, sorry, I would like to have your key message, which is the last agenda for me. And this, I want to, make it for the mice professionals worldwide who are, waiting to join the industry back. They have taken a good rest for 4 5 months, and depending on the country conditions, so that's their main profession, and they have to get back to work. So, what is your key message for the industry at large?
I think that the keyword would be this too shall pass and the sun will shine again. And it is very important for us to gear up right now or make ourselves ready to enjoy the sun when it is open. Yeah. So between now and then, I think that it is very important for any business to stay agile to survive. And in order to do that, I think it is also important that we all have to think big because we can never go beyond what we think. So we have to think big. Then we have to start small so that we can stay risk averse. We have to move fast in order to stay top of the game, and we have to reframe our network because the new business model, the new norm, would require new skill and new partnership. And right now, the industry has been coming in consolidation. So think big, start small, move fast, and reframe the network and enjoy the sun.
Sure. Thank you, Nichapa. So everyone has to reframe and think fresh for this new world. And on behalf of My Affairs Media Group and Life Expo team, I would like to thank you for your presence today and keep our viewers updated with the latest news coming in from Thailand. And look forward to see you soon, sometime face to face, not virtually.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Kapun Kap.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.